got a host of not only, of course, Hayden Deegan here, but a host of 450 Pro Sport riders that are all set and ready to tackle this racetrack. Mikey Waynes, I'll tell you, this will be your first bit of racing that you've been able to watch today, this week so far. But what a way to kick off the Thor Mini-O's 2022 for you, my friend. As the gate is down, riders are railing through the first few turns, and mercy sakes alive, it's the 341.
Mitchell France out in front, that 341 Yamaha. He was for the moment. No, that is still him. But a stacked class nonetheless. I got here this morning, Rodney. I said, what's our first class today? Pro Sport. Let's go. Pick the right
and
time
Hayden Deegan
all over him right now.
Deegan in that number 2 spot, if I saw right going by there just a moment ago, is still working on trying to make a pass here early on in lap number 1. One thing to point out that we noticed about Hayden, very calculated and reserved in his efforts there yesterday, but knew when to pull the trigger, and right now he knows it's probably time to pull it. Mitchell France, Aiden Shive, Hayden Deegan, Patrick Murphy, Chris Blackmer, your top 5. Ricky Randonella. It is Quentin Prugadiers, Benjamin Garib, Campbell Jett, and Bryce Shelley.
Hayden Deegan getting out in front of him now. Let's see what he can do with some clean air out in front. But boy, Rodney, look at it. A 1, 2, 3, call it a 4-way battle right there. If those boys start getting into each other, Hayden Deegan just might run away with this. So France, Shive, and Patrick Murphy all still battling right now.
So the battles are waging on. Mitchell France, Hayden Shive, Hayden Deegan. Now Hayden Deegan is your leader as he gets by both. The Kawasaki ride of Shive back in the number 2 spot. And back in 3rd, we've got a battle between a couple of Yamahas, Patrick Murphy and Mitchell France going at it right now. Coming up behind them, Christopher Blackmer on that gas machine, number 573. Our front 5 starting to stretch away, but who is that rocket soaring up through the pack right now, Mikey Waynes? That Yamaha rider.
I was going to say pick him. Mitchell France drops a position. Patrick Murphy is the rider up into that number 3 spot on that number 35 Yamaha.
Well, that was Dax Bennick, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You're talking about back in 8th.
Yeah, 8th.
Okay.
I'm watching back of the pack. There's Bennick. Bennick is rolling up through the pack right now into an 8th place position, as he is, if I'm not mistaken, one of Hayden Deegan's teammates out there. And with that being said, it's pretty cool to see them both out here in this class working it together at the Mini-O's.
Looking out front, Deegan trying to check out to Laterville right now. Got a good gap between him and Aiden Shive in that 2 spot. Pretty decent gap back to Patrick Murphy as well, but then forget about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys right there with Daxton Bennick in that number 8 spot. But for how long he's knocking on the door? He might go 3 for 1. It is tight.
Well, Aiden Shive only a half second off the pace of Hayden Deegan right now. Now, there's 2.3 seconds that separate them physically on the racetrack, but fast lap times 58.4 and 58.9, respectively. Deegan and Shive running 1 and 2 on the racetrack right now.
Pretty impressive. Tough break for Mitchell France, falling back to the 7 spot.
Well, here's where the battle is. That 341 machine is feeling the pressure. Dax Bennick is now challenging from 8th on Mitchell France to try to find himself near a top 5 position, and they may be just exactly that as we work our way around for another lap complete here in just a few moments. We've got 3 laps down on this one, Mikey Waynes, and look at this 4-man shootout that's going on right now. Yeah. This is for 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. It's Patrick Murphy, Chris Blackmer, Quentin Rogers, Benjamin Garib is in there now, up to 4th place position. Another rider that's made some big gains in the last couple of laps.
I tell you what, Daxton Bennick is working this track right now. He's been stuck behind these guys, and he's inside, outside, outside to inside, just trying to find a line, or at least, if nothing else, force these guys into a mistake, pick up a spot, but not giving up.
Well, Bennick right now behind Chris Blackmer, who was a part of the top 5 earlier in the race. And that just goes to show you how challenging these qualifiers are for this 450 Pro Sport class, Mikey Waynes, because some of the guys that we've seen running up front are finding themselves just struggling to stay mid-pack of the top 10 right now.
That's exactly it. One of those riders, Blackmer, right there. Daxton Bennick able to get around him, and now Blackmer's trying to keep pace. And we'll see what Bennick has got for Quentin up there in, I believe, the 5 spot.
Well, Patrick Murphy able to separate himself from Garib, 3rd and 4th, or at least the 4th place position. Murphy at 59.8, a full second faster. Benjamin Garib at 58.8 is 3.4 seconds back, so this could be interesting. Garib could see himself inching away. Quentin Brigadiers in the number 5 spot, but Dax Bennick is another rider we've been keeping an eye on. He is right there knocking on the door for this top 5 position, and he may have just made the pass right there into the number 5 spot as we're watching on Racer TV right now. So he gets around the 3:19. He's got a little over a second, maybe 2 now, to reel in Benjamin Garib, and then another 4 to 5 seconds to take a top 3. But again, we're just in qualifying positions.
Right.
All he's racing for right now is to get a decent gate pick, so he hopefully gets a better start there in the main events. But you can't tell these guys that.
No, forget about it. Hey, once when the gate drops, Rodney,
It
all
stops.
that stuff stops.
Still in the 58 range, a 58.024. That has been the fastest laps this weekend. Practice, everything included. 58.024 by Hayden Deegan on lap number 5. He backed that up with a 58.370. So very consistent. Those are not fluke laps.
Lap of the week. Fastest lap of the week right there, 58.3. Yesterday, 100.4 was the fast lap of the week. So we've decimated that by 2 seconds.
And look at that, Aiden Shive in the 58 range as well at 58.7 is his fastest, and he's been turning consistent 58.7s as well.
Dax Bennick, 58.7 in there too. So these guys are running very similar pace now that they've figured it out. We've got maximum traction here this morning. We don't have that little layer of grease that we had yesterday.
Absolutely. It rained basically all day yesterday, a slight mist all day, so they really couldn't get what they're getting as far as traction out here today. And man, I'll tell you, they're working well with it. Last time around, a 58.3 for Deegan, and Patrick Murphy a 59.5. Garib a 59.1, a 58.7 for Dax Bennick. And here's what's impressive about that. He's doing it working through the pack right now.
Oh, yeah, I mean, and he really, like you said, he's just trying to get a gate spot, but this is a flex for these guys. This is the pro sport class. This is going to be reflective of how they race. They know that coming into this, so he wants to pick up those spots. Meanwhile, Rodney, Checkers is out. Bang, there it is. Hayden Deegan, what an impressive ride. Not the best start, was in the mix. When he got around those guys, got the clean air out front, checked out.
I will say this. I've seen Hayden start a couple of times yesterday, got buried back in the pack. Actually, I lost him, and I thought he was a lap down. He did end up finishing 6th place, I think, in his moto yesterday. Kind of got buried. There was a little bit of confusion. Didn't have his transponder, wasn't working or something. But he did qualify, but he had to work his way up through the pack in order to do that.